We're jumping right into this one, so let's show you how to make a meal that my kids will eat over and over again. Pizza tater tot casserole. Vegan, of course. This is such a great recipe if you are trying to convert your kids over to veganism or just eating more plants in general. This is a great starter recipe. I'm starting with boiling hot vegetable stock, and I'm going to be using textured vegetable protein, also known as TVP, as our meat substitute for this video. Just pour it into the stock, stir it together, and then let it sit for about 5 to 7 minutes to absorb all of the liquid. While we're waiting, we are going to grab an oven-safe skillet if you have one. This one is a 12-inch cast iron skillet, and then I'm going to add in some oil and heat it up. Once that is hot, I'm going to add in my onions and peppers and allow these to cook down until they are soft and tender, which takes about 5 to 7 minutes. Then I'm adding in some garlic and seasonings, which for this are garlic and onion powder and Italian seasoning. You could also do some red pepper flakes in here. Just keep in mind the spice level if you are serving this to kids. And then stir all that together and let cook for another minute. Now, I want to show you what those TVP crumbles look like when they absorb all of the liquid. You can see that it's just the crumbles now, and we're going to pour this directly into our skillet with some marinara sauce, and then stir that around and let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then remove this from the heat. Let me start by saying if my kids are in the kitchen when I am making this, they are absolutely at this point coming with spoons and taking it straight out of the pan. This would also be a great mixture over like nacho chips or baked potatoes inside of a sandwich, anything like that, like a sloppy Joe type of situation. They just love it at this point with no other things needed. So I'm using TVP for the protein option inside of this recipe. Now, 4 years ago, when we first made this, we used frozen ground meat crumbles, which you can absolutely still do. I was just trying to go for a less processed meat option, which is also kind of awkward because the next part I'm about to show you is bagged tater tots, mozzarella cheese, vegan, of course, for those people that make, you didn't say vegan, and vegan pepperoni. So yes, this is still processed, but it's a little less processed with the TVP. So TVP is soy-based, however, it is gluten-free. So this is completely gluten-free if you don't add the pepperoni later. This is a great, hearty option if you have gluten-free friends coming over or you are gluten-free in your house. However, if you can't do soy, you could also swap this for lentils. Cooked ones are like already cooked lentils. So that would also be a great option. You could also throw some mushrooms in here if you are a family that likes mushrooms. I could not get away with that inside of my house, but if you can, feel free to do that as well. Also, last tip before we get back into it, I am using a cast iron skillet because it is my skillet of choice when I want something to go from the stove directly into the oven. However, you can still make this if you don't have an oven-safe skillet. What you want to do is make it up until the point we just stopped, and then pour that entire mixture into a 9x13 casserole dish, and then continue with the rest of the recipe that I'm about to show you now. From here, I'm going to add in half of my vegan mozzarella cheese. You could also do a mixture of mozzarella and Parmesan on this layer, and then I'm going to add my tater tots. I always start on the outside here and then make rounds until I get all the way to the center of my skillet. I had a little helper through this process. Honestly, the more I have involved them over the years, the more they've grown in the kitchen, and I just love this so much. Finally, top with more of your vegan mozzarella cheese, and then I'm adding some vegan pepperoni to the top of this, but you could also do other pizza toppings here. Then into the oven and bake for about 30 minutes or until your tater tots are done cooking. And voila, you just made pizza tater tot casserole, completely vegan. I like to top mine with some green onions, but you could also do some black olives or fresh basil, or even brush the top with some vegan garlic butter across it, or add some grated Parmesan right on top. We like to serve this with a salad on the side for a complete meal. So if you don't like cooking with yeasted breads or even just dough in general, this is a great option to have a pizza night without all of that fuss. Again, without the vegan pepperoni on top, because I don't think I know of any vegan pepperoni that doesn't have gluten inside of it. So without that, it's completely gluten-free. So again, a way to enjoy pizza type of flavors for our gluten-free friends as well. Similar to lasagna, this is completely freezable. So prior to going into the oven, you can cover it. Make sure that that meat mixture that you made is cool first. Cover it and then put it into the freezer at that point. That is my preference in how to freeze this if you're gonna freeze it. The other option, obviously, you can cook it all the way through and then either eat half of it or however much of it you want to eat, and then you can freeze the rest into portion sizes. I like to do portion sizes, that way I don't have to pull out an entire skillet and try to cook it because I feel like it takes a lot longer that way. Individual sized portions are the ultimate way to do that option. We also have a Tex-Mex tater tot casserole that I will also link in the description. This will also be linked in the description. You can also go to my website, makeitdairyfree.com, and search tater tot and you can get the recipe there. I hope you loved this video. I hope you have an amazing week and I will see you in the next one. Bye.